Welcome to Comfort Time with Aunty Yunike, where we share testimony stories. Our story for today is property ownership. Vis-a-vis men and women, what is really going on and what can we learn from the stories that we can hear from our experts here. Please, what is happening on the ground?
Yeah, in Zambia, property ownership is a right, and anybody, whether man or woman, or youth of a certain age of over 21 years, can own property.
Okay.
However, what is happening on the ground over the years of my practice has caused some concerns. And from the stories that we can share today and share with some people out there, you will see where we get it wrong.
Okay. Mr. Nelson Banda, have you encountered any stories that have made you wonder if we are on the right track?
Well, we have encountered some stories where there have been some dispute over properties. Here is a situation of a man and a woman that have been married for, say, over 15 years, and they would want to separate. So the issue that comes up is that how do they share the properties? Okay, who gets what properties? And these are quite some issues which are concerned to us, because in some instances the two people have worked together to acquire that properties. But on one hand, you find that one wants to get away with a big chunk of the property. And this is where the people have to, really run to institutions such as the court, so that those outlining issues can be interpreted by the courts.
The courts of law.
Yeah.
Okay.
But sometimes it's not even necessary to go through the process and to go through courts. The court also sometimes is busy with other real issues, so to speak. So it is always good right at the beginning to have these issues defined.
Okay.
I've met some women after maybe 10 years of marriage or even 5 years of marriage. You are asking, do you have any property? Then you are trying to divorce, do you have any property? Yes, we have. We have 5 farms and 5 plots. Okay, where the title is. This one it is in his name. We bought this one together. It is in his name. We bought this. How? Because if you bought it together, how were you left out of your name being on the same property? And the two, you will find that the way the memorials on the title deed are written, sometimes it will just say at jointly owned property or whatever. So most men don't pay attention to that clause. So you will think we jointly own it, but actually you don't. So it's these issues, little nitty-gritties that we need to look at. Why do we want to share property when we can sort it out right at the beginning? Okay. And if, for example, your husband loves you and he comes home one day and says, I bought you a car, sweetheart. Where is the white book? Or what do you want? You get the white book, it is in his name.
You tell him no.
So it's easy when you get divorced for him to say, sorry,
it's my car.
Yeah, so in other words, it's very, very important that when two people are owning properties, the properties must reflect
both names.
Then it becomes a joint property. If it is not in any name, then the other one doesn't own it. And that's where the complexities now begin to arise at the dissolution of marriage.
And the selfishness also comes in, it creeps in, because at the end of the day, especially where a man is saying, Madam, you walk away, you go away, I don't have you anymore. He will not want you to walk away with anything. Because for most men, the thought is, she stays in my house and another man comes to look. Then you'll be enjoying what I already did. Because I've seen, even when you are writing a will, the men are very, very careful. When you are writing a will, the men will say, no, this one, I'll just leave her one house.
Wow.
The rest should go to my children. But why? No. What if she gets married again? You cannot control your partner from the grave. Huh?
How do you know she even wants to get married?
So even when you are separated, you don't love each other anymore, it can't work. Why do you want to control what she does after you have separated? So if we stop being selfish, I'm sure we all have a say in whatever we own.
I think apart from just being selfish, if we as women, or even men, because there are also men who are living under women who have properties, and they too have contributed, but they don't have any rights to those properties. So I think both women and men should make sure that they understand each other from the beginning. So what is for me and what is for you? Should this happen? Let's be realistic. I don't know why we fear death. Death is there whether we like it or not, it will happen. So let's discuss, should I die? What should we do? What do you expect? Should you die? What comes to me? Should we separate? These are real issues. Those are difficult conversations that we should have at the time when we are still in love. It's not a conversation that you have when you are both angry and you are throwing pots and pans at each other. You would not understand each other. So at the time when you are in love and oh honey, so if should you die, what is for me? And should I die, what is for you? Discuss lovingly and put things in place before you come to that level.
But I think it's also important that when two people are settling down together, those are the things that they should agree on. Say, imagine if both of you are working and your wife wants to buy a car, okay? Is the car going to be in both names or in her name? When you are acquiring certain properties, I think those things must be discussed, because like nowadays the world has changed. There's been a lot of advocacy on the gender issues and the things that have emerged over the years. So people need to agree as they get into marriage. Are they going to own property together? Is everyone going to have individual properties? So that the contribution of each other must be noted as they move on
as
in
the
life.
marriage progresses.
Because of a certain situation that might arise in the future, someone can easily say, okay, this car is mine, that farm is mine, and the things. And also they should also outline, they should prove that this property is jointly owned, but this one is his, this one is mine. I think that those are situations that can help so that disputes can be avoided,
minimized, even eradicated.
If we love you, and even when you say go, I don't want you anymore, that is, it's like, what
have I done?
Where did I go?
Yes.
Because all my life, from the time I was
young,
I was good to think I must please my husband.
Yes.
Things like that, right?
Yes.
Then suddenly this Nelson just comes up one day and says, hey, there's another one better than you. You don't know how many questions we have. So many questions. I just asking you,
I did you.
You are the one who even teaches others to sashira. Niye kuvala huko. Nani kulia politics?
I tell you.
So what is it about? So it's women at least genuinely go into marriage to keep it. Not him at least after 10 years you will find somebody else. And not continue. But if so we really need to continuously talk about these issues. So that, and especially that women should know that it's not their fault.
Yes, that's very important.
Because for them, start
blaming.
That's not good.
And you know what? The other thing they forget is that they do that to you. There's always karma. You do that to someone goes with a heavy heart. They don't know what wrong they did. You are just being greedy, just being selfish. You go and look for another woman, and for you life continues. Karma is after you. And you as a woman, what makes you think you are more special than your friend? So when you go into that home, the same thing that you have done to your friend will happen to you also. And for you to be very painful. I've seen people in polygamous marriages. The young ones are the ones saying, Imwe, well, let's fight that one who wants to join us. Because even you just joined your friends. So it's very important to think of yourself, to do unto others as you would like them to do unto you. Because if you do anything else, karma is on you. Catch up. And karma never fails to collect. If you're being beaten, please leave. Save yourself. Many women will not agree. I remember sharing with a group of women, and one lady said the husband has been battering her. I said, you know, why don't you negotiate away from home? Because at this rate, one day he'll beat you, maybe he'll just push you. And you know, accidents happen. Someone pushes you, you hit your head against the wall, and you're dead. And now that person remains in jail, your children have no one. So I said, why don't you leave that space and negotiate from afar? I should leave that space so that another woman can have an entry point. I said, but it's you who is being battered, it's you who is not happy. Why does it matter who is going to come in? That person will probably come in and continue being battered if that is his habit.
And usually, I always find it very difficult to understand why it's women who want to tell other women to stay in that relationship, in the abusive marriage. Because for me, as you have correctly stated, if all you do throughout your marriage life is fight and fight and fight, then there's what are you still
when are you going to enjoy your life?
Because for me, I was told that marriage is about enjoying. No, me when I was getting married, I was told marriage, you are going to enjoy.
Wow.
And I was looking forward to enjoying.
I tell you, it's bliss.
So the first time my slap, I walked.
Yes.
I said, no, this was not the agreement.
That's not what I was told,
But when I went to the elders, no, go back. That's when I heard for the first time the shipikisha nonsense.
Yeah,
you sit there and say,
oh, man.
And also the church also, the role it plays to batter you into silence. You go there, they'll give you all these Bible verses and Bible verses. Now look, sure, if marriage is about even procreation, whatever, you need that peace to enjoy it and to make sure that your children grow up in a serene place and in a peaceful atmosphere. So if you're going to be fighting and shouting at each other every day, what are you teaching the children? What are you teaching the children? So for me, those people say, no, shipikisha, go to church. Some even say, let's go back to culture. Hey, I'm already battered. Which culture am I going to go? It means that culture didn't teach me anything. So the next thing is to walk and continue walking.
And that's why, you know, the children that are brought up in such environments come and continue doing the same thing that they saw, because that's the only life they know. They know that, okay, a woman is to be beaten or a man is to be beaten, because I've seen men who are also battered by women. And their children think, oh no, I should beat up my husband. This is what my mother did. So we are teaching children to continue living under such terrible environments.
Although children who grow up in this sort of atmosphere, the girls especially, they quickly learn
to start fighting.
So when they go into their own marriages, they're just ready.
No, that's not healthy, really. Is that healthy?
I know some family, their daughter even went for training in a camp or something, and I was like, hey. Yes, it's about being safe, I suppose.
But it's not right. No, it's not healthy.
It's not healthy. It's either you get married to somebody who treasures you so much and do make sure no harm comes to you and treats you like the queen that you are. Every time, then he comes, no, you are my queen. Forget. The person who does it once will do it again.
And they always quote the submissive verse. You are a woman, you should submit. And I always say, no, finish the entire verse.
Yes.
It doesn't say women submit to your husband. It says women submit to your husband as Christ. No.
As a church.
No, wait. You got it wrong. No, me, I'm trying to remember. Women submit to your husband, and men love your wives as Jesus loved the church. And Jesus died for the church. Now imagine a man who loves you so much that he's willing to die for you. Why won't you submit to him? It will just come naturally. So you get it wrong. First, love your wife so much that you are ready to die for her. Then you will see all the submissiveness that she can come up with. That's how it works.
And even that, is it Proverbs that they like quoting? There's the proverb that is about a good woman and so on and so forth. But all those things, all things being equal, you getting the respect from the man. The man looking after you like the queen that you are.
The one that
everything else just
flows. Yes, it goes.
How am I going to cook bent food for my husband who loves me so much? I make sure I get the best steak.
Yes,
not my soya pieces. Even if I have to steal, you see what I mean. But if he is behaving bent,
why do I care?
I
don't care. Okay.
So that is life.
Well, such is life. So I hope the men, the women will all learn something from here. Let's try and make our lives bliss. Let's all be happy. You want to go out of this life knowing that you knew what it feels like to be loved.
And to be happy.
And to be happy. That's why now you die. You find even the people preparing the corpse are failing to make your face straight because you are going out fighting and screaming. You are so angry that I'm leaving this earth and I never enjoy it. Make sure you enjoy that life, whether it's with someone, even alone. You can live alone and enjoy yourself.
No one dies.
No one dies, yes. So don't say that it must be with someone, because I've seen a lot of women who feel if there's no man attached to them, they are not complete. They want any man. At least people must say, oh, but and when you look at that man, but just because he's a man, no.
For me, my opinion is different. I think when people are coming together to
the relationship,
they agree to say, once you tell someone to say, I love you, that word is very, very strong.
They must mean it.
They must mean it, and they must not be hostile to that woman, because you bring together 100 people and
to
witness. So that is a very strong statement. You must not turn around to say, and become a beast. Beating your
and then tomorrow you must hear someone died. What happened? They were stabbed by a woman, by the wife, stabbed by the husband. Where did that come from?
So that statement is very, very important. I love you, and you must demonstrate that you love each other. No fighting. If there are issues, sit together and have a conversation. People who come to witness that marriage were not there. It's the two of you who have brought 100 people. And you must agree to love each other throughout.
And as the Nyoni said, the ones who have been in marriage 64 years, they said the one thing they learned is that don't let the anger of the morning go down with the night. As you are going to bed, make sure whatever issues you had during the day are resolved. You go to bed happy, because you don't know. You could be going to bed angry. Tomorrow you wake up, your friend is dead. And how would you feel? So make sure you've sorted out all your issues as you go to bed, so that even if that person dies, you know you were in a good place with them.
Okay.
Have you been in situations where someone has died and a will has been rejected?
Yes, this must be about 20 years ago. A man had written out a will, and then after he died, he was suffering from cancer.
Okay.
So after he had died, the church brought it to my attention that actually there was a will, so we can go and help the family to read it out. So I went, I approached the family after about 3 days. I said, oh, there was a will. It was very funny the way they looked at the will first of all, and they threw it away.
This is the man's family?
The man's family.
Okay.
Then they said, is this what you've been planning with the widow? I said, no. I've just been given this will to bring itself. There's a will. And the man especially, who was the young brother to the late, was the one who was even so vocal. He got up and tore the will.
Oh my God.
So I just said, okay, fine, no problem. We have another copy at church. And what I will do is I will take this will from here to the police station. And I will even tell the police that this is what is happening at this house. It was some house near Woodlands Police there. So luckily those days the unit that looks after
victim support.
victim support was very, very active. So they kept surveillance over the house.
Okay.
Okay. What I'm trying to say is sometimes we give up also too easily.
Yeah.
Because anybody else would just have said, hey, I don't want to be beaten here with this. So if you are representing something, some issue that you believe in, you have to take an extra step to make sure that these things are done.
And the security, because people, those are real issues. People you can actually kill.
And also, I think there's another solution to all this. People do write. They found the foundation that makes the trust. So that if you are talking about more property than one car, you just say everything that would have acquired is in that trust, and nothing gets sold until maybe the last child is a certain age, and if it's a business, it continues running, and appoint trustees. That way you avoid all this suspicion of, if the wife dies, she'll take everything to the new boyfriend, or if the husband dies, then he will take to the new wife. It will be in that trust and so on. So I would urge people out there that apart from our selfish needs, we should learn to make trusts and.
Okay. What about, I was just told of a story 2 weeks ago of a friend of ours who lost a husband, and a year later she met someone and decided she wanted to get married. This is a woman with big children. They were all out of school, so she was on her own. And then she decided to get married, and this man said, okay, I've got a very big contract, can you help me? And she took her own house and gave him as security because he didn't have enough money. And with what has happened now with the drought, that crop failed. So the bank moved in and sold the house, and now she's destitute. So my question is, for women who are living alone and who have got their own property, is there, both actually women and men, is there, what do you call that document that you can sign to say what is yours remains with you, and what is his, and then what we'll have going forward is what we'll have together and what we can share?
Yeah, I think one, you mentioned that she actually gave him the property to mortgage,
security, yes.
Mortgage. So there are cases where the person willingly does so, and maybe as proof of love and so on and so forth. It's not advisable. And then this is why I think Nelson was just saying you need to sit down and discuss. What happens? Me, I'm coming with my 3 houses, and you, I've got my aeroplane. So what will happen in case of? So you should already have what they call a prenuptial. I think in
that's the word. That's what I was looking for, a prenup.
a prenuptial agreement where you say what is mine, what is yours, and neither shall the two meet.
So it's available in Zambia. Someone was telling me it's not available.
It's not part of the law, but this is an agreement.
It's you draw
your own agreement. You are saying this is mine, and that's it. And to the women that are brave enough to do it again, I always say, if you are brave enough to get married again, be very, very careful, because our days are shorter where we are going. So if you lose all your money, your pension, whatever, then what? Who is going to look after you? Even the children will just say, hey, you chose that.
Yes, you chose
so leave us alone. That's So for those who are brave enough to do it again, be careful. Because even for the men and for the women, some come into it because of what you have, not because they love you. And of course, yes, there are those who are lonely. I don't blame them. They are still lonely to go and do it again.
But I think it's important that it's agreed at the beginning. Yeah, what belongs to the man should be for the man, especially. You know, like I had indicated earlier on, things have changed. Yeah, because in the olden days, you know, one would assume that if a man had properties, and then he brings a woman, you have all the properties is for you. But I think nowadays things have changed, and because of emerging issues in the country and in the world and elsewhere, I think it's important to agree right up at the beginning.
So while you are still in love, not when you are fighting.
Yes, agree, this car is mine. If I die, that is something else.
To go to you or to go to someone else.
But it's very, very important because people have been talking about empowerment. And both of you are empowered because of your job, your careers, and so forth. There are certain dreams that you want to achieve as an individual. So owning properties as an individual is very, very important, and it must be mentioned at the beginning. Say, we are going to have certain properties jointly. Others will have to own them as individuals, so that conflicts do not arise. If you die, share what is joint properties. Those that you have as individuals remains.
I think that is very important because, and it's fair. If I come with property, he comes with property. He's got his own family, he's got his own children. I have my own family, I have my own children. So if we agree that, okay, what we both have is kept separate, going forward, should we still, that is if you're still interested in doing business and is still acquiring more property, you say going forward now, what we're going to have is what we can now say goes where. That way no one feels that someone came to them because they wanted something from them. Because yes, it's real, people can come to you, you think they love me, but they actually don't give a damn about you, they just want what you have. But when someone agrees to say, keep what is yours, I'll keep what is mine, and in some cases they don't have any, but what we have going forward is what we'll share. And I think it's only fair, should you sign such an agreement, and you came with a lot of property, and maybe your husband or your wife didn't come with any, but she agreed or he agreed to sign as proof of showing that they loved you and not your property, I think the onus is on you to show the same love and make sure that you leave something for that person, because he is someone that you've brought into your life, you've changed the way they live, and then because they agreed that yours is yours, you should die and they should remain suffering. I think there's no love there. So I think it's only fair that for such a person, you make sure that they're taken care of even after you've gone, that they continue to live the kind of life that you brought them into, that you provided for them. So I think women should also negotiate. Some people, and here it's women and men, negotiate for what you want. Don't just agree that, okay, I want to show him that I love him, I want to show her that I love her, therefore I'll sign that I don't have anything. No, before you sign, say, okay, I'm willing to sign everything off, but when should you die, what is going to be mine. So that should be agreed. Don't fear tough conversations. That's what can save you. Yeah.
But at the same time, I think there's need for more awareness.
Yes.
Yeah, especially people in the communities. I think this information is lacking. Those that have an opportunity to come across such information, they know something. But the majority do not have this kind of information. So it calls for sensitization for both men and women. Yeah, so that issues do not arise in the future. Yeah.
And also, there's this tendency by a lot of women. Once the man says, "Okay, madam, I'm tired of you. I'm off with my new chick," they just leave things hanging like that. They don't go forward to get divorced. They don't do anything. 10 years later, the woman could have acquired a lot of property because she's now working. She has moved on. 10 years later, she dies.
Oh,
the record still shows
that she's married to that man. Oh my God!
You come and get.
Oh my God! And they're not even ashamed to come forward.
No, they're not. Even the other way around, it is the same. Even the women, they go and they even go to court to prove they are still wife because there's no divorce.
Yes.
No papers. Yes.
Oh my God!
So just a caution maybe to some of our friends that just sitting there for more than 10 years don't get your divorce doesn't mean he or she will come back. Have a clean break
and start afresh. Should you want to get back together?
And start afresh.
Yes, to start the negotiations. Oh my God, that's terrible.
Yes. And there are also these women, once they get in this situation, they even go back just so that maybe they can acquire some of that property when he dies.
Oh my God.
And the man even forgets that I used to beat up this woman. I used to they bring the woman back because they're so lazy or they have no one else who can look after them. I always shut that because this is a recipe for another disaster because I can poison you. Remember what you used to do and I want to property. So we should all be careful of, how we live our lives and
because sometimes people can say I've forgiven you, but they have not.
Yeah, there's no proof.
No, and you can't know what is in someone's heart. So don't be foolish, don't be naive, and just accept thinking, oh no, they've forgiven me despite what I used to do to them. Now, so instead she has come there for a first exit. So
he's telling everybody, see her.
That is terrible. That is so sad. Okay, so so this is just a caution, I think, to all of us. You can never really know what's in someone's heart. Some people genuinely just want to be with you. They don't want anything. They just have that love for you. And some will pretend. And especially I've seen now a lot of girls, some of them just want to show on social media that they got married. I know of a couple that got married, beautiful wedding, we supported them. 2 years later, the girl just said, this is not what I signed up for. So in Enaya. All she wanted was the pictures on social media. She got, because people were telling her, you can't get married, you were such a loose girl, you did this, that, so no one can marry you. If you have to get married, you're going to get married to an old man with 10 children. So now she said, okay, I'll show them. So she was getting married, not because she loved her, she just chose someone who was very naive, married that person, God gave him hell and decided she was leaving, and he genuinely actually loved her and was so miserable that she did that to him. So don't be gullible. Be sensitive to what is around you. Be sensitive to people. People come with all sorts of agendas. And above all, be discerning and involve God in your life. ensure that you pray, because you know when you pray, sometimes you don't even know where the help will come from.
Yes.
Someone will plan something bad for you, but God will come and change tables. That person will even run away on their own. So involve God in all that you do, and you'll be safe. Otherwise, this world we are living in is just scary. Yeah, so someone goes and comes back and she's my wife, he's my husband, and they get the property. Yeah.
That's the main objective.
Yeah, but that is so sad. This was a nice discussion. I hope we've been helpful to all those who have listened to us, and that if there are any questions or if there's anything more you would like us to discuss, please put it in the comments so that we can look at the comments and we can have a part 2 where we discuss issues that you want us to discuss. So thank you so much for listening, Mr. Nelson and young Carter. It was a pleasure to have you here.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. Comfort Time continues. Stay blessed. Give us a thumbs up and share our videos. I'm sure this is something everybody will need to know. Comfort Time continues. See you in the next video.